listening into that was Dr. Dvir Abramovich. He's the chair of the Anti-Defamation Commission. He's a leading Jewish academic, and he joins me on the line. Thanks very much for your time, Dvir.
Good to be with you.
All right, we'll just reflect on what this person in our democracy that we have is able to say as he runs for local government election. What do you think?
Well, first of all, listening to him, when someone running for office says they like some ideas of National Socialism, let's be clear about what they're praising. National Socialism isn't some philosophy, it's Hitler, it's Auschwitz, it's genocide, it's the extermination of 6 million Jews and millions of others. Saying you like parts of it is like saying you like parts of cancer. There's no good version of Nazism, there's no soft Hitler. And I think the only surprise is that anybody is surprised, because we're living in crazy upside-down times. We're living through a nightmare in broad daylight, where what was unimaginable, 6, 7 years ago is happening right in front of us. And I want to be very, very clear. Democracy, whether it is in WA or whether it is in Victoria or whether it is federally, isn't a suicide pact. Doesn't mean we invite in those who would burn it down. And democracy has red lines. We don't let pedophiles run schools. We don't let arsonists run fire brigades. We don't let terrorists guard airports. And we shouldn't let people who celebrate the Third Reich, who deny the Holocaust, who dream of an Australia without First Nation people, Asian, Jews, Muslims, run for council. And these men are not ordinary candidates. They are extremists who preach white Australia. And if the WA government lets them run for office, it is normalizing their ideology of hate, it's giving them a megaphone, and it's telling the public that this kind of racist rhetoric is just another point of view. But it's not another point of view.
Sorry, go on. I was going to just interrupt you there, because you would have heard the Prime Minister, I think back in February, when he was talking about hate laws and how heinous it is to espouse the sort of language that we're hearing from these people, and that we need to do more to protect people in the community who are being targeted. So why then wouldn't it be on the list of reasons you can't run as a candidate that you are a self-professed neo-Nazi? Why wouldn't that be enough?
I don't know, because every state and federal government must make sure that extremists like these individuals are stopped at the gate before they can hijack our councils, our parliament, and our future. We need to keep, whether it's neo-Nazis, whether it's bigots, whether it's white supremacists, off our streets, off our screens, and out of councils. This is not about censorship. This is about saying that a democracy is not just about the rights that we have. It's also about what we are willing to tolerate. And free speech is not a license to mainstream Nazism. It doesn't give anybody the right to run a city council or to be part of a city council while saluting Hitler. And we cannot allow those who give the high little salute or who glorify and praise Nazis to wear a suit and stand for election. And I think this is now the time, whether it is the state government or the federal government, to action. We put seat belts in cars, we put speed limits on roads, and we can put moral limits on who represents us. And keeping Nazis and racists off the ballot isn't undemocratic, it's self-respect. And I'm urging the federal government and the state government to act urgently. They have to tighten eligibility rules, they have to build in mandatory vetting, and most importantly, like you said before, ban racist, white supremacist extremists from standing as candidates, full stop. You can be barred for bankruptcy.
Yep.
Or a prison sentence. You should be absolutely be disqualified if you spread anti-Semitism or if you preach racial supremacy.
Yeah, I mean, you point out that on the list, and I'm looking at it now here in Western Australia, the Local Government Act, you can be disqualified for being insolvent or under administration. That is surely far more minor than a situation of someone going out on a platform and openly espousing such hatred.
And, nobody's saying that these men can't rent on a street corner, but public office is different. It's a position of trust, of responsibility to all citizens. You can believe whatever you like, but you cannot run a community while praising the ideology that tried to raise Jews and which dreams of an Australian Hitler, where minorities are marched into gas chambers. We need to understand. And the one thing that came into my mind is that we are living in a different Australia today. Neo-Nazis are bolder than ever. You saw they marched openly at the so-called March for Australia. Here in Melbourne, they attacked Camp Sovereignty.
Yep.
They're testing the system. They are probing to see how far they can go. And if we shrug, if we dismiss this, they will take it as permission. And now they are nominating for councils. We are really at a crossroads. We either show them the door now, or we wake up one day wondering how it all got this far. And, these people are not in the shadows anymore. This is part of a deliberate strategy. And I'm not surprised that they're trying to sort of camouflage their ideas, talking about rates and talking about roads and rubbish. They're hiding an agenda that demonizes and dehumanizes anybody who doesn't fit into their war ideology.
Dvir, thanks very much for coming on and having your say on that.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you again.